Hi, I'm TJ Tollickson, professional triathlete, CEO of Dimond Bikes, and today we are going to take you behind the scenes so you can watch us make an extra long seat post. Now, this particular product is not made very often, which is why we're going to show it to you. It's an extra long seat post, meaning it's for an absolute giant of a human being. So Chad Sansagran is 6'7". He's got a 38-inch inseam, and so he needs an extremely long seat post on his Dimond. Carbon fiber is made just like a diamond gemstone is made. You need carbon, pressure, heat, and time. We first start, we go to the freezer and we take out some pre-preg carbon fiber, either already cut in a kit, or we can start from the whole process of bringing an entire roll out and cutting pieces to make a kit. So once we roll out that carbon fiber, we stack it into layers and then we cut it. And we cut it into different orientations to fit into the mold. And so when we fit pieces of carbon fiber in a mold, it's basically a giant 3D puzzle. Now, there's a couple ways that once the carbon is laid in, that you can make the part hollow. And so that's important to keep it really strong. So what we're doing is taking our hands with gloves and some popsicle sticks, and we're pressing those cut pieces of carbon fiber into a mold. Then once we have two pieces laid up, it's a clamshell mold, top and bottom piece, we have to put something in the middle to make it hollow. We use three different methods here to make it hollow. We use lay flat tubing, we use EPS molding, meaning we take a piece of styrofoam and then we put a latex or a similarly shaped and formed bladder material around the EPS foam. And then the last way we do it is today, and that's using a heat expansive foam. This is super top secret stuff. Not very many companies, especially in the bike industry, are using this kind of stuff, but we're gonna give you a peek of what it looks like right now. This foam expands way more than its original size, so thousands of percentage of what it is normal size with heat. So what we do then is we place a small layer of that expansive foam in the middle on the part we want to be hollow. Now you'll notice at the top of the seat post, it's solid carbon. It's just layers and layers and layers of carbon thick. 60 layers of carbon. Now, the main part of the seat post has a hollow tube that runs through it, and that's where we're going to use this expansive foam. So once we get everything laid up, the 3D puzzle is complete, the expansive foam is in the middle, or lay flat tubing, or EPS, or whatever you want to use in the middle to keep it hollow. We close the mold up. We're using clamps today to close that shut, and then we're just going to heat it in an oven. We don't need an autoclave because you've got plenty of pressure on the outside of the mold with the clamps. And we're going to create all kinds of internal pressure with this foam. And then we're going to bake this baby at 260 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're going 10 degrees over the temperature here because we want to make sure that 250 degrees is reached on the very inside of the mold. Alright, so we're going to shut this oven off now. We're going to take a peek inside old Blue M and take this part out. So we had to bake this part in the oven for about 90 minutes at temperature. But anyway, we're going to pull this out of the oven now. You got to wear nice mitts because that is hot. Close the oven door. We'll walk over to this table and pop it open. Alright, so this is the demolding side of the table. So we use these clamps to keep this thing shut. You should be able to pry this open. And obviously there's some resin on here, so sometimes it sticks a little bit. It gets hard to actually open. Pop that baby off. We got the part stuck on one side. We should be able to use some tools to pry this out. It has a little hole in the middle of this, so I can take one of these wrenches right here, and I should be able to stick this in here, pry this out. Let's pry it out. Now we have a solid seat post part. It only needs between 45 and 90 minutes of temperature, depending on how large the part is, because we want to make sure that there's time for the resin to meet its gel point, which happens around 220 degrees where the resin flows, and then it solidifies into one solid part. So once it's solidified in one solid part, we know it's better to overbake it than underbake it. That being said, we'll take this out of the oven in 90 minutes time. The next phase is we'll cut all the flashing off the part. So the flashing is the resin that leaks out on the part line. And then it can go into bodywork. So if it has any dry spots or pits or divots, you want to fill those with either 3M DP420 Dolphin Glaze body filler, and then sand it down to a nice dull finish so you take all the mold release off that carbon. Once that's done, we will then take the part, we will do the machining work. We have these drill presses set up in the body room to drill exactly a specific hole on there. We will finish it with a Dremel, if anything needs Dremel for finishing. And once that's done, we'll get the hand sander out and finish and deburr the rest of the seat post by hand until it's a nice finish. That's pretty much the end of how to make a carbon seat post here at Dimond Bikes. I hope you enjoyed this show, and